and straight to the question. And if your question has been asked, there's no point trying to ask it again.
Good morning, sir. My name is Oluwafemi Cosmos from Lagos. Sir, I want to make I want to ask this question. It might be a source of inquiry. With your analysis, sir, I discover Bank of Industry comes to amplify what we have started with. Now, some people might not have the basic opportunity to have a building structure and some other things, and they have passed through your so many training, just like myself. But we are under a kind of an umbrella, like an incubation center in Lagos that is well known under federal government. Can they still have the opportunity to access the expected loans or machineries? Thank you.
Okay. I'm Emmanuel Akinola from Abeokuta. I started a business some years back, yeah. But in 2017, towards the end of 2017, someone told me about BOI. And they said they do this market money or trader money or something like that. I said, I don't usually take loan. But because they said we pay back and then it's 2,500 over 50,000 and then you can access more. I said, okay, let me start with that 50,000. In 3 months, I finished the payment. But I discovered that after the time, they kept on sending me some messages that I'm still owing some money. I think I asked at the stand, they said I should go back to the agent. But they kept on sending me messages. I don't know if there's anybody that also have that issue. So, and that made me to just be like, anything BOI. In fact, I told them, I said, look, anything BOI for now. I want to, until I don't get that message again. 50,000 is not much money. But if I now take 5 million and I finish the payment and I'm still getting a message, how will I be able to fight that? Thank you. Directly to the bank or no, it's through agents, through hand to hand. You know, that's what they do. Bucket money. Thank you.
I'm Dele Adepoju. Sir, as the name implies, Bank of Industry, as you are talking about industries and processing, manufacturing, also, is BOI doing something regarding financing agricultural sector, knowing that the whole world is tilting, at least Africa is tilting towards the issue of agriculture. I don't know whether they are doing something of that.
Good morning, sir. I'm now happy with Bank of Industry. If not Bank of Industry and CBN, any bank in Nigeria will work out. CBN, Bank of Industry, and NISA. Apart from them, I will work out. Sir, what made me to come out is that my brother, Moshood Wole Gbadegeshi, is the Director General for NIDB before. If you don't know him, I have never stepped his house to borrow 1 naira. I think Abuda's all way. Are you getting me? What makes me to come out now is that in your statement you say, think always to elevate problem facing others. Is that not so? So that's what makes me to come to you. Secondly, it's an advice, and I'll give you later, not generally. You need to go extra mile. You need to go extra mile. You are lagging behind. You need to go to Dubai and Jeddah. I will give you the website to go and learn more of Bank of Industry. The way you are doing here is conventional. Sorry, sir.
All right, 3 questions. 1 on agriculture, 1 on the trader money. Sorry, I hope you wrote them down. The first one, I've forgotten the first one.
Yeah, it's incubation. Okay, very intelligent and insightful questions. Number 1 says that there are some people that may not have the wherewithal to put up a structure. So it shows that my brother is conventional to how we fund. That would be more explained to people. We don't fund buildings and land. We only take care of your capital infrastructure, your machineries. So if you don't have a building, you don't have a factory already, Bank of Industry can allow you to lease one. You don't need to build. You can lease. Or we will tell you that you should have your lease the tenure of the lease should be longer than the loan tenure. Our loan is between 3 to 5 years. So if you are going for a loan of 3 years, have a lease tenure that goes to 4 years. For incubation, those are in the technology incubation. We have a lot. If you are in Ibadan, there are someone there, and most of our customers are there. We actually prefer it because the technology incubation center, they help to facilitate NAFDAC registration. So that helps you. If you don't have NAFDAC registration, we might not be able to finance you as a startup. But if you are under incubation, we will finance you because we have a relationship with them, because we know they will help you to get it. So we can support you if you are under the technology incubation center. Somebody said that he has successfully paid his traders money of 50,000. I think my only worry is that you were paying it through an agent. So I don't know, you don't have the evidence that the agent was actually remitting your money to Bank of Industry. That is the issue. So what I will do is to take your name, but we also have our customer service line where you can talk to them. We have people that can speak Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa on our customer care line. They can explain to you and they will tell you what is the problem. I will give you that number, but I would like to take your names specifically so that we can address that issue. I think somebody asked about if we fund agric business. Yes, we do. But not all agric business that we fund. We don't fund, we shy away from crops, especially those that have long gestation period. There are some crops like cassava, 9 months to 1 year. We don't do that. But any crop that have 3 months gestation, like corn, your sorghum, yes, tomatoes, vegetables, we can fund. Fish farming, poultry, piggery. Piggery is even longer than 3 months, but we still fund. But if it is, you want to have a cocoa plantation, a palm oil plantation, all those ones have a gestation period of 5 years. Why do we not fund it? It is not our core mandate. We have Bank of Agriculture. Bank of Agriculture should fund that. Bank of Industry is focused on production, processing, and manufacturing to add value to primary agriculture. So, but along the line, we have found ourselves to intervene in the agri space because feeding ourselves as a nation is very important. And that is why we are supporting in that role. The last speaker just gave us another assignment, and he's telling us, look, we are not there yet. How many of us believe that he's very correct? We are not there yet. We have over 180 million. And today, the number of our customers are still less than 10 million. Are you getting it? So we are not still scratching the surface. But that is because of our role. How many manufacturers do you actually know around you? We finance manufacturers. They are very far in between. Are you getting it? So like when we started doing the traders' money, the market money, within 1 year, we were able to roll out millions because there are so many traders, so many marketers. So that is the reason. I will meet you, sir, so that you can tell me the next level. No, we are not in the next level. Thank you very much for listening. I will implore you that wait for our meetings tomorrow where you can know the details of each fund, and the criteria for assessing it is very important.
Please, can we put our hands together for him? Well, the BOI will be having a class by 5 p.m. today and also tomorrow as well. So, but we'll be announcing that in the course of the summit. once again, welcome everyone to the summit, the Southwest E-Commerce Summit. Just we'll take a couple of announcements, and the Bank of Industry stand is just over there if you will still want to ask quite a number of questions and clarifications from them. So I want to welcome you again this morning to the second day of the Southwest E-Commerce Summit. Thank you for joining us. Just quick announcement again before we get into the core keynote speeches for this morning, and before we break into our different classes that will be later in the day. This morning we actually have 3 keynote speakers that will be speaking to us starting from around 10:30 this morning. And the first keynote speaker is Reverend Sunday Folayan. He's the president of, excuse me please. So he's the president of NIRA, and NIRA is Nigerian Internet Registration Association. So he'll be speaking to us this morning. As well, we also have in our midst as one of our keynote speakers, and that's Dr. Abib Olamitoye. He was here yesterday and is also here this morning. He's a serial entrepreneur. He's a doctor by profession, and he owns one of the biggest hospitals, more than one hospital actually, in the city of Ibadan. He will be speaking to us on building an empire by saying like an entrepreneur. Then afterwards, we will be having another keynote speech by one of the sponsors of this event, Paige Carton, and the topic he will be speaking on is the future of commerce as an hybrid. So we'll have that. But please, for those who came in quite very early this morning and you've not registered for any of the classes, please, the registration sheets are outside. If you've already done so, please just remain seated. We'll still continue with the program. But you can just step out as quietly as we can so that we can register for the different classes that we have. I'll just quickly run through some of the classes. Between 1 and 2, we'll be having e-payment systems by Tolulope Ogundiji. Then we will also be having the classes by Rally Academy. And this morning, we'll be moving the Rally Academy classes into this auditorium, while the 2 remaining classes will be either in the garden or in the upper room because of the crowd that Rally Academy had yesterday. So Rally Academy trainings will be taking place in this auditorium for today and as well for tomorrow. Then we will announce where the other classes will be taking place once we have the registration sheets to put us in a place that is quite comfortable. Then we'll also be having one of the classes by 1 and 2, cyber security and payment protection. This will be handled by Paige Carton. So this morning, just to have a review of what we did yesterday, I want to give us the opportunity to speak about our experience yesterday, what we were able to learn. Maybe you've also been able to start something out from what you've learned yesterday. Please, can I have the other mic? So please, you want to share with us what you learned yesterday. At least we had 3 keynote speeches yesterday. One by Max, the guy from max.ng. Then the other by Michael Emeka Akinwale of Rally Academy. And the third one was taken by, by the regional manager Southwest of the Bank of Industry. And we took quite a number of classes as well yesterday. Innovative business model, which was taken by Emeka. And I know that was one of the classes that they didn't want to let him go. They didn't want to let him go. Then the classes by Rally Academy, and also the class by foodlocker.com.ng on omni-channel operations, and quite a whole lot of classes. Please, you want to share with us what you learned? It's just a review. It's just a review. Just a review before we get into the keynote speeches for this morning. Because it's important. One important thing about this meeting is not just only for us to come again to talk and we go out there and we've forgotten everything that we've learned. But at least we can as well just get some things that we've learned from it, reiterate, and those are the things that we've also started implementing as entrepreneurs, as business owners. So anyone who wants to build a cart? Yes. All right. Please come forward. Please, you mention your name. You mention your name. You tell us what you've learned or maybe what you've been able to initiate.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Samson. Yesterday, I learned so much about the entrepreneurship and more especially on the e-commerce area. When we are exposed to the various opportunities, unlimited opportunities on how to kind of sell online, how you can start a business online, and how to look out for if you are planning selling anything online. And also, so there are several ways on how to trade currencies, and especially from the training we had in the Rally Academy yesterday. And from the speaker that spoke yesterday was kind of very inspiring and motivating. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very, very much. So you were at the Rally, please, just a moment. Please, sir, just a moment. You were at the Rally Academy training all throughout yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that means you learn about e-payments, you learn about e-business. Can you share with us one specific thing and what you think that you're going to act upon?
Okay. Thank you very much. Like, I have business too. Like, especially they were exposed to how to sell on Jumia. So my plan now is that I'll most likely start selling something on Jumia very soon. And for the e-currency aspect, they were exposed to the Expo, which I also plan kind of investing in. And from there, maybe you can then start trading on the currencies.
Plan on trading online. Okay, so you want to get started on that as soon as you can. Please, can we put our hands together for him? So who else wants to share with us what he or she has learned and what he or she will be implementing? Thank you.
So, there are so much more, but this is what I can take from.
Thank you very much, sir. Can we put our hands together for him? And I'm taking a key from what he said about the innovative business model classes especially for those of us who were not at the class. It was quite, I know it was quite engaging, quite exciting. But you can just easily go online. If you go to Google and you type in business model canvas, you will see quite a whole lot of, because the business model canvas is just a chart that shows you everything about your business from input to the very customers, even including those areas that will generate income for you and those areas that are taking money out of you. Everything in just one chart. Everything. And the beautiful thing about the business model canvas is that once you do it right, you can even easily develop your business plan from the business model canvas. So if you just go online on Google, you Google, type business model canvas, and you'll see quite a whole lot for different organizations across the globe as examples there for us. And also on the CRM, you know, how many of us I've had the opportunity of visiting websites like Konga and I still take two people who want to share with us. Two persons, I'll just, no female. All right, please come forward.
And think about how I'm going to be making money while I'm sleeping. Then another thing we're taught about Raleigh Academy, I've always had this notion that foreign trade, forex trading, it's something that you can't make money at all. But they told us that there is something you can do whereby you make sure you make money. You don't just get so greedy. So I've decided I will go into that and see what it looks like. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, dear sister. I think she got back home and she called herself to a meeting. If you remember that yesterday, she called herself to a meeting. And I think that is good enough, and hope that you will also be able to take it up.
And the frontiers of our accomplishments. I therefore would want to remind us this morning that as we advance technologically, as we advance, having more things being done by machines, there are dangers, there are problems, there are challenges. Just early this month, we were faced with the unfortunate incident of the crash of an airplane that was supposed to fly by wire, but did not fly by wire because something went wrong. And it illustrates how much we have come to depend on machines for getting things done. May God continue to grant repose to the souls that perished in that disaster. So 4 man and machine concepts. The first is robotics. The second is the internet. The third is the Internet of Things. And the fourth is artificial intelligence. And of course, the fusion of these 4 things is at the front of the revolution that I want to talk about this morning. I've been told that I have 30 minutes, and I will try to stick within the time. The origin of robotics is the brainchild of a brilliant Czechoslovakian playwright, novelist, and journalist named Karen Karpek, who introduced it in his 1920 hit play, Rossum's Universal Robotics. Robot is drawn from an old church Of course, the row can be cut away, and you will see bots, or hear bots, or feel bots. It is still robots. The internet is the global interconnected computer network that uses the internet protocol suite called TCP/IP to link devices worldwide. It's a network of networks consisting of private, academic, and public business networks of local and global scale, linked by a broad array of electronics, wireless, or optical networking technologies. And of course, the internet has enabled quite a lot of things, from commerce to medicine, to architecture, tourism, banking, name it, today. I'm sure we all still remember the era of tally numbers. When you go to the bank and you have to wait to be called. Some people will even collect their tally number, go and drop children in school in the morning, come back in the afternoon to advance the queue, go and pick children at close of work, and then finally come and collect their money. If you didn't live in that era, congratulations. You are very, very lucky. You obviously also will not live in the era that your father will taught you change the channel, because there was nothing called remote control. Congratulations. You are one of the lucky few. Internet of Things, or IoT, was first used in 1999 by a British technology pioneer called Kelvin Ashton to describe a system in which objects in the world could be connected by internet sensors. Ashton coined the term to illustrate the power of connecting radio frequency identification tags, called RFID tags, used in corporate supply chains to the internet in order to count and track goods without the need for human intervention. And today, the Internet of Things has become a popular term for describing scenarios in which internet-connected and computing capability extend to a variety of objects, devices, sensors, and everyday items. The beginning of modern artificial intelligence can be traced to classical philosophers' attempt to describe human thinking as a symbolic system. But the field of artificial intelligence wasn't formally founded until 1956 at a conference at Dartmouth College in Hanover, New Hampshire, where the term artificial intelligence was coined. Internet of Things has evolved, and the evolution of IoT is in 1, connecting computers, 2, connecting people, 3, connecting every other thing, and 4, matter-level communication. Let us look at the confluence of man and machine. The confluence of man and machine begins with ubiquitous connectivity. The technical details that makes it possible to connect one object to another. Next is the widespread adoption of IP-based networks. If you take your phone and you get on the internet, there is the probability that you can communicate effortlessly, because the person at the other end also runs the same protocol suite as you do. Next is computing economics. When we were in school, when you say computer center meant a room that had a big computer that you go to, submit your job in the morning, and come for the results in the evening. Input was via a set of cards, and output was via a very huge printout. If you didn't know Fortran, your case was doomed, and there was no hope for you. Today, every one of us carry a processor in our pocket that is 20 times powerful than those computers in those server rooms in those early days of computing. So computing economics has really made it possible for us to be working processors of information. Next is miniaturization. Advances in data analytics, and of course the rise in cloud computing. Where is robotics and IoT today? We see robotics and IoT in home and consumer electronics, automotive, healthcare, manufacturing, and other fields. The Samsung Family Hub is a revolutionary new refrigerator with a Wi-Fi enabled touchscreen that lets you manage your groceries, connect with your families, and entertain like never before. Of course, the refrigerator is IP enabled, and it is directly connected to the internet. Now just imagine you visited your doctor, and your doctor says that you are overweight. You need to cut down on those midnight snacks. Doctor makes an entry into his computer, which is also wired to the cloud. The same cloud that houses your posts and pictures on Facebook. So at night, you tiptoe to your refrigerator, pull the handle of your fridge, and the LCD screen lights up with a gentle warning: access denied. Doctor's order. Your fridge suddenly is acting on the instructions of your doctor. It's no longer science fiction, ladies and gentlemen. It is reality. So your network-savvy neighbor is broke and hungry, and he hacks into your doctor's computer, diagnoses you as malnourished. So your fridge orders more groceries from supermart.ng. Of course, the grocery is delivered to your doorstep, and your neighbor promptly picks it up from your doorstep. How nice, because you will blame your doctor for the error. Welcome to the new world. It's no longer a dream. Your devices are now connected and ready to teach you a few morals. Talking about morals, I cannot end without talking about driverless cars and morals. When a driverless car looks out on the world, it is not able to distinguish between the age of a pedestrian or the number of occupants in a car. Lagerman said, even if we wanted to imbue an autonomous vehicle with an ethical engine, we do not have the technical capability to do so today. In essence, driverless vehicles would continue to face the dilemma of whether to kill the person they are carrying or to kill the innocent pedestrian that is walking on the street. Who knows? Perhaps that will have been the next Wole Soyinka, or the next Pius Adesomi, or even the next lowly Sunday Folayan. It's a paradox that we need to face as we continue to push the frontiers of man and machines. So, the question is, who wins? Is it going to be man, or will it be the machines? Man can build better, obedient machines. Man can pull the switch and kill all machines just by fiat. Indeed, man can become stupid, and man can become the machine. There's no doubt today that we are all machines, perhaps in behavior, perhaps in attitude, perhaps in our makeup. A lot of people will say good morning to you on Facebook. They meet you in real life. Perhaps the only thing that would make them know it is the same Sunday Folayan is because he appeared in color, and they can say, that's him. Take that away, humanity is under assault and the future is very, very bleak. No option is as good as man remaining humane. God made man to be above machines. Read Job 32 verse 8 to understand that we have been made excellent, and excellent we will remain. I thank you all for your attention. Enjoy the conference.